Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the Qatar Airways cabin crew career progression. The reason why I'm sharing with you the Qatar Airways career progression is because this is the one that I am most familiar with. However, the career progression in any airline is mostly similar. There might be a slight difference when it comes to the career progression or the promotion, but most of the airlines promotion or career progression are pretty much the same. You might be thinking, once I become a flight attendant, am I gonna be a flight attendant forever? Am I gonna be stuck in this position? Or is being a cabin crew a dead-end job? Or what's gonna happen once I turn 50 years old? Are they just gonna kick me out of the airline and I won't be able to do anything else? If you're interested to know the answer to those questions, just keep on watching. Cabin crew job is a dead-end job because once you are 50 years old, you have to leave the airline. Just gonna end up serving tea, coffee, chicken, and beef until the last day of your life. You can tell the company, okay, I'm done flying. Career progression with Qatar Airways is a little bit faster compared to other airlines for two main reasons. The airline is growing really fast. They are purchasing a lot of new aircrafts, opening new destinations. So, you do the math. If you buy a lot of aircrafts, you open new destinations, obviously you're going to need more people, meaning there's going to be a lot more vacancies in every position that is available within the company. And speaking of positions, there are a lot of opportunities outside of flying that is within the airline, which I'm going to be talking about shortly. With that being said, let's start discussing what are the available positions for cabin crew within the airline. So when you initially join the airline, you're going to be termed as an ab initio. Ab initio meaning your initial joiners, new joiners. You are an ab initio cabin crew on your first 2 months, meaning you are not really a flight attendant yet, but you are doing the training, which lasts for approximately 2 months. So on the last day of your training, which is what we call the wings day, the day that you get your wings, you graduate, you completed all your training, you're going to be dubbed as an F2 cabin crew. F2 cabin crew are those who work in economy class of the aircraft. So the length of your stay in this position could probably be 2 to 3 years depending on your performance. Well, if your file is clean, you don't have any infractions, you have never missed your flight, you have never had any conflicts on board the aircraft. So it all depends on how clean your file is. So can you get promoted earlier than 2 years? The answer is yes. And that is if you have had a prior flying experience. If you've flown with a low-cost airline before, you will need at least 2 years of flying experience with the low-cost airline. And with a full-service airline, it could be a year and a half. If you have prior experience, you're going to fall under the category that we call fast track. And based on my personal experience, I was under this category because I flew with an airline in the Philippines before I joined Qatar Airways. So I was only an F2 crew or an economy cabin crew for 10 months. And then on my 11th month, I was promoted to F1 cabin crew, which brings me to the next step in the ladder of progression, F1 cabin crew, or what we call a premium class cabin crew. So once you get promoted to F1, you're going to go through another training, which is what we call the premium class training, which is around 14 days. The premium class training is one of the trainings that I really loved doing because I learned a lot. Obviously, I came from a country where cheese is not really a thing that we eat after we complete our main course. So I learned a lot about cheeses, about Arabic dining concepts. Yeah, they just basically teach you the basics of dining concept. And my most favorite part is the wine training, where you're gonna be getting a WSET level 1 sommelier certification. So all of the cabin crew, all of the F1 or all of the premium class cabin crew of Qatar Airways are level 1 sommeliers. And how long are you gonna stay in this position? How long are you gonna be an F1 before you get promoted to the next level? It actually depends it could be 2 or 3 years again. But for me, I got stuck in that position for 4 years. I was a premium class cabin crew for 4 years. But no regrets. I had so much fun. Actually, this is the position that everybody really loves. It's a little bit difficult for the cabin crew to let go of this F1 position and to go to the next step of the promotion, because F1 position is really the best. You don't have any stress. You're just dealing with 12 customers on your zone. Yeah, you just basically do your job, you go home, and no stress at all, and that's the end of it. That is why a lot of the crew, they stay in this position for a really, really long time. But for me, on my 4th year, I was so sick of it. I was so tired of doing the premium class service. So I said, yes, this is the end for me. I need to go to the next step of the promotion or the progression, which is a cabin senior. A cabin senior is a supervisor that is in charge of the whole economy in a wide-bodied aircraft and in charge of the entire cabin on a narrow-bodied aircraft. So narrow-bodied meaning a smaller aircraft. There's a single aisle, a wide body. Obviously, there's 2 aisles. I'm gonna post a photo right over here. So what are the responsibilities of a cabin senior? Basically, whatever a supervisor does in any other company, that includes coaching new crew, teaching them about the standards, or ensuring that the standards that are given by the company are carried out properly. That also includes handling customer complaints on board, and at the end of the flight, writing really long voyage reports. You can stay in this position for, again, 2 to 3 years or maximum 4 or 5 years. It again depends on your performance, depends on your file, it depends on a lot of factors. What happens after this position is that you get promoted to a cabin services director, which is equivalent to a purser in other airlines. So if you're thinking about a big boss, yes, the cabin services director or the CSDs are the big boss inside the cabin of an aircraft. So the cabin services director and the cabin senior are the leaders inside the aircraft. So the difference in their job descriptions are not that different. They usually liaise with each other. They do a leader's brief. They talk to each other. What are their plans for the flight? And then prior to a flight, they do a flight briefing for the rest of the crew. After becoming a CSD, this is where it becomes interesting. This is where everything stems out to different departments. So now it really depends on you where you want to move forward to. A lot of people are saying that once you are 50 years old, you have to leave the airline. It's not true, because like what I said in the beginning of the video, there are a lot of opportunities within the airline. If you want to stop flying, there's a lot of choices. You can become an instructor for safety. You can become an instructor for first aid. You can move to another department, which is a grooming department, which are people in charge of ensuring that the cabin crew are adhering to the grooming standards of the company. You can move to housing department, taking care of the housing needs of the cabin crew or the logistics of moving a crew to a new accommodation. What else? What are the other departments? There's endless departments here. My point here is that it's not true when people say that the cabin crew job is a dead-end job, because you learn a lot of things while you are flying. You learn a lot of things once you become a leader. These are skills that you can use on other things in life. You can even use your previous work experiences. If you used to be in marketing, now you can tell the company, okay, I'm done flying. I would like to explore a job somewhere in marketing or in finance, or if you want to be a first aid instructor because you used to be a nurse or a doctor or whatever. You want to be a safety instructor because you have a background in teaching, or you have a background in psychology. Perhaps you can work in the welfare department, where you're going to be taking care of the welfare of the cabin crew. So yes, there's a lot of choices. A cabin crew job is not a dead-end job. So if you're somebody who's young and people are discouraging you from taking this job because they're saying that you're just gonna end up serving tea, coffee, chicken, and beef until the last day of your life. It's not true. You have a lot of choices. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please don't forget to click on that thumbs up sign. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well and the bell notification button as well so that you're going to be notified whenever I upload new videos. This has been Days with Kath. I will see you next time. Bye! Bye.